Oh, hello! Welcome back to another Voice of the Rings episode. This will be another learning guide, and this will be on super duper basics for everyone. So if you're out there and you're someone you're like, I really would like to play Lord of the Rings Online because I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and I'd love to play this game, but you've never played an MMO, or maybe not even many other video games, and you're like, I'd really like to be able to play one of those, right? Well, here's episode's for you. Alright, we're gonna do a very basics on stuff. I'm controls, movements, screen movements, how to walk around, what buttons to press. So I'm gonna pull up a handy dandy little thing here for us. Give me just a second. Boink. This will be very cool. Alright. So, now on the screen right here at the bottom, you can see I have this little thing right here for us. Basically what this is it's a keyboard, and whenever I press a button, you'll be able to see it light up. You see that? See it right there? Yeah, look how cool that is. Look, Zolan can even see it. Right, Zolan? Right? You can see it? Yeah, yes, he can see it. Okay, perfect. Alright, everyone. So, I want to start with some super basics. So first, one thing is, I don't have a thing to show the mouse right now, but I can just explain this to you guys, because it shouldn't be too hard. So, normally, your right hand is on your mouse. Your left hand is on the keyboard. Now, normally your positioning for your keyboard is going to be positioned on the W for your middle finger, right? And it'll also control S, and then your left and right pointer finger, and the finger that you usually put a wedding ring on, but or I can't think of what that one's called right now. But it will usually be on the A, okay? So and the D will be your pointer finger, and your middle finger will usually do W and S, okay? So that is usually how you position your hand. Your thumb will usually sit on the spacebar. Usually, in this game, spacebar is going to be for jump. All right, good. So this is very basics, guys, super basics. But this is good stuff to know if you need it. So let us talk about real quick. So on your right hand, when you have your hand on the mouse in your right hand, this is what you need to know. So so there's two functions, right? You have left and right mouse click, and you can move it around, okay, right? So in this game, when you first start, you're gonna look like this position. This is what it'll look like when you first log into the game, okay? When you want to select something, for example, this character, you're going to this thing moves around like a normal mouse on a computer. You'd left click on him, right? If you wanted to interact with him, you'd right click on him. There you go, and he stopped to interact with me, and he said something. This character doesn't give a quest or anything, and doesn't really have any other points, so he just stops and says something to me. And a minute, he'll keep walking, right? So that's just a quick little test of that. So left click to select to see his health bar up here, and right click to interact with things. That's the same thing for picking stuff off the ground. It's right click, left click to look at it, right click to select it, right? Right click is select in this game. So that's good to know. Now, okay, so here's something. You're walking along and suddenly your screen goes like this. You're like, what's happening? Don't freak. Okay, so if that happens and you're totally off like this, so a good way, first thing to know is moving your monitor. Okay, so you're basically like, we're a camera, right? Our human eyes are seeing our character through a certain point, right? Through a camera. So our camera is always aimed directly at our character's head area or back of head, correct? So the reason how I'm doing this is when you hold down the left mouse button, right? Hold down the left mouse button and move your mouse. That is how I'm rotating, whether it goes up and down, left or right or left. It just depends on which way you're moving your mouse while you're holding the left thing down, right? And you can rotate it however you want. Okay? So that's left. Right click will if you right click when you're looking with your character, just right click on nothing, it'll realign your character. See that? So you realign to the back. Ba-doop. So no matter where the character is, you right click. Now that's if you're doing your mouse, right? So, and then the scroller is important in LOTRO because the scroller on the middle of the mouse, right? So everyone here should have a scroller in the middle of their mouse. Most mouses have that this day. Somewhere on your mouse, you have the scroller, right? So when you scroll in and out, you actually can get distance from your character, right? So there's a max distance, right? So that's about as far as you can go. It's pretty darn far, really. So you're basically like bird's eye view right now. And then you can zoom in. If you keep zooming in into all the way to your character, you will actually enter your character's head. At this point, the way to look around is to hold left the same way and move your head. Now your camera is inside your character's head. So now that is how you're looking around, right? You're holding down the left mouse button while you move your mouse, correct? All right, so Another nice little trick about the mouse that we need to know is if, let's say you want to walk without using your keyboard for temporarily. So right is realign. If you hold both mouse buttons down at the same time, your character will walk. Now, here's a cool thing. If you move your mouse while you're holding down left and right mouse button together, he will actually be able to aim and go up and down with the camera, right? Because you're doing both things at once, and since you're doing both functions, it lets you walk automatically, okay? So there's that to go. So that's pretty much everything you're gonna need to know about the mouse. Now, but, here's something important, guys. For me to look like my character's talking like this and doing this, I am actually moving using my mouth and my keyboard right now to do two functions. So I'm using my mouse holding down left to move the camera, and as you can see, when my character physically moves his body from left to right, I am clicking, if you look down on the bottom left now, A and D, right? Those are moving me back and forth. Now, it gets confusing, obviously, when you're looking straight at your character like this for talking for the video, right? But realign your character so it's normal, right? This is how you normally will have it. Now we're going to talk about the keyboard. All right, guys, here's so keyboard. A, right? So, okay, so I'm going to do this too. See this? I came here because there's this nice little square and square, right? You see my keyboard here? So I can show you how this works. So let's realign our character back to where we'd be, right behind him. So W is going to be forward, moving, character walking, W. S will be backwards. That's pretty simple, straightforward, right? W, S, W, S, right? All right, so left and right, guys. A is going to rotate your body without moving. You rotate. D, same thing the other way, okay? Now, there is some other buttons that can do some things. So we also have Q and E. Q is right above, right next to W, right? And E. Q will move your character diagonally, so left and right. So if you see this, he walks sideways instead of turning his body, right? So A and D are turning his body. Q and E go back and forth diagonally. He basically walks sideways like a crab, right? There you go. Okay, so now that we know that, let's think about some combinations, right? So what if I want to go forward and turn left, right? Turn my body, right? So I can go W and do a D, right? And I can rock a circle, right? My character is turning his body and he's going forward. I'm sorry, you're gonna get dizzy. I'm gonna stop that now. All right. So now what if I want to go backwards and do D? Now I'm doing a backwards circle, right? Look at my character. See? See the buttons I'm clicking on the thing? Same thing. You can do a reverse figure eight. Look at that. Reverse figure eight, guys. I'm doing it. Yeah, figure eight. Okay. Anyway, you get the point? So now, also don't forget about Q. So let's say I'm walking forward with Q, and I do Q. I can do, look, I'm doing diagonals. Look, I'm literally, if we're talking like a chess set, you guys, look at this. Doing W and Q, you're basically a bishop. See? Bishop. You do the same thing if I press backwards with E, right? Right? So, see how it's in that, like, you see the keys I'm doing for that, right? QS, QW, or EWE, or ES, right? So those are doing different diagonals. You can also do all three. This is what it does. I'm clicking all three. It's like a very tight circle, but at the same time my guy is doing the bishop, right? We'll call it the bishop. And then we'll call the crab walk and forward and back, we'll call that castling. Or castle. Well, not castling, just castle, right? Because it's directly straight on, right? But you can move around in circles and figure eights by doing combinations of these. Just try them out for yourself. We don't want to go over this much more because this is super simplistic stuff. But this is not if you've never played an MMO before or a video game. So I'm doing this for all those people out there that need that, right? This is real simple basics. We're going to call it super basics, right? All right. So now we're going to talk about, okay, we do have to remember one more thing. So mouse and keyboard. Now we know all about the keyboard movements. Again, another thing, spacebar, you guys. Spacebar is jump. So you can be moving and click spacebar, and you can be jumping, right? So you can also be turning in midair a little bit. So now the interactions of all these keys that we just learned, right? All 6 of these keys on the keyboard for moving and your spacebar, the interaction for that with the mouse. So if I want to be going along and I want to look to the left, but I don't want my character to go left, so let's say I'm just going to go forward with W, and I'm going to hold down the left mouse button and just turn my thing like that, right? He's still going to go in the same direction, but my camera is looking behind me now, right? So that's how I do this, right? So that's how you can do that's how I can control things. So I could be doing a spin while I move move this counterclockwise. So I'm moving it with his body, like, right? So there's all sorts of things you do. After a while, it'll become second nature, this stuff. So just keep practicing, and after a while, you'll totally get it. It's not that hard. Your brain just basically connects in, and then you're like part of the computer and your character. Okay, no, that's crazy. I'm sorry. I'm just being silly. Okay, all right. So we know all about that. We know how the mouse functions right, and how to move the camera around, how to realign your character, how to jump, how to do different bishop and castle maneuvers with where you're going on the ground, right? No matter what your buttons you're clicking, W, S, turn, left, right. Okay, so now we know all about that. That's good. We have jump. Now that we know that stuff, I want to quickly explain key bindings and things just like clicking right on the screen. So again, left click will actually, normally it selects things. When you're clicking on these symbols down here for like your inventory, you left click it, right? Right click will not work on this stuff. You have to left click. So the interactions with the screen stuff, with like your character tab down here, clicking character tab, it's left click to open things. And then for again, for working with things, so like remember right click was to to interact with something. Left click is to select. Sometimes, see, left click won't actually use this virtue thing, but this will be used up when I use it. It says consumed on use there underneath the level and name. It's gray. So if I right click it, it'll interact and actually use it for what it's for. It gives me some XP for something. Okay? So interaction, right click with things. Again, character, really simple, okay? You're like, oh my gosh, I have this new axe. How do I replace it with the axe I already have? So there's a few things you can do. You can right click the axe. Boom, and now you've switched the axe automatically. It just switches it because it knows you can only hold one axe in your inventory, so we will do that. But I'm going to switch it back. And by the way, if you hover things, they give you nice little descriptions, and it'll also say equipped, and then the one you're seeing, hovering. So obviously when I hover the one equipped, it'll say equipped, but it'll only show, or it won't even say that because obviously it's equipped already. But if I hover this one in my inventory, now it says that one's not equipped. I'm going to right click it again and re-equip it. Now, another thing you can do with items in your inventory to move around, you can actually left click them and drag them and drop them into different spots, right? Or you could drag and drop into your character thing. Boop, and it switches it. So that's another way to do it instead of right clicking, right? Sometimes you have to do this for the rings and the earrings because a lot of times it'll just switch the top one and keep switching the top one. So what you have to do is actually open your character in items and grab one of the earrings and drop it in the bottom one because it just it is how it does it. It's a little bit glitchy sometimes with that. So anyway, that's how you interact with items with your character. Real simple stuff, right? We have a whole video on items, guys, so go check it out. If you want to know more about items, I got much more complex videos on going into detailed things, but this is for basics. So again, also, skills, you can right click on skills and they will work. You can also left click on skills. It doesn't matter with skills. They all just activate when you click on them. Oh, your skills. To set up quick slots, guys, for real basics of this game too, this is a good thing to know. You click escape, right? You can see on my keyboard I just clicked escape, right? Go to options, and then you go to quick slots right here. So these are actually these extra ones that are floating. So if I close like always show bar 1, I don't want to show it. See how it removed bar 1? So those are good. That's good things to know, right? So you have, so I don't have anything there, right? There we go. So I can go and reopen those. Okay. So that's how you add those onto the screen. How you move stuff around on the screen. If let's say you have a big monitor and things don't look balanced or something's just messing up, it's the control. If you watch the thing on the bottom left, you'll see which buttons. Control this. Do you see it? It's that button right there. I'm going to hold them so you can see the glowing red buttons. See? So control that one. It brings up these little things. You can actually drag stuff around on your screen, right? And leave them somewhere else and then turn it off if you want. But obviously I don't want my skills right in the middle of the screen, so I'm going to put that back over there. You could also rotate these flat if you wanted all 5 of them. The same spot, it's in the options that I already showed you in the quick slots. So that's good to know all that. I think we're about done with this video. I just want to do real basics of movements. So I think we're going to end it here, you guys. I think that everyone probably understands now. Oh, I is for inventory. Okay, this is a good one to know. Just open your inventory, or you can click the thing down here. C is to open your character tab, or you can click this thing down here. Open traits. I usually just click it. I don't know if it's T is for crafting, so you can open that for your, if you want to do that. We got quest. Q is our moving one, so I won't figure out. But if you want to go quest, you can click here. You can click the ring and opens your quest tracker. Or if you have a quest already on your tracker, right here is how you add it to this tracker. You can also click the little ring here to find the quest quickly and open it there. And remove from tracker. Oh, hello! He just walked through us. Hello there, sir. Anyway, so that's good. I want to keep this video at 15 minutes. And if you want other real basic things, you guys, just leave a comment and I will make it for you. I thought it would be helpful so you could see the key bindings with what I use. By the way, if you want to use these things too, you can see they say Control-C, Alt-S+. If you want to, I like to just click them with my mouse, left click, while I click on my target, and then I click those. Tab selects targets that are enemies and will rotate through them. This one, tab, that's really nice to have. There's no enemies around, so it's not selecting me a target. So, but that's a good thing to know. Control whatever this number here is. See how these are Control-6, control that. I can't use these right now, but like I could do Control equal, right? And that just use that ability without left clicking with the mouse. Or I could just left click things with the mouse and use them. See, I'm using this emote. But let's say I want to use this emote, right? The horn one. So I say Alt, and it says 7, right? Boop. There, I click 7. Did my little sword emote. Yeah! Alright, right? And then also you've got like, you know, Shift 3. I want to make this acorn whistle, right? I'm going to craft this and give it to someone. Right? Alright. So there's some real simples of the game, you guys. These are good to know, these controls. Practice them. Manipulate them. Do all the little bishop movements and castle, as I just called them. These are good things to know. This is the same in shooter games. They're like, you know, military games, or in all the fantasy world games and all the MMOs. You're going to be using WSED, all this stuff, for your movements. Other games, those keys are also used very highly, but we would go on that if we were playing other games. But sometimes they won't be your movement. You right-click to move. But we're not going to worry about that because that's not LOTRO's case. So thank you again for being here, my friends. I will wave bye to you now, and I will see you in our next video. And this has been Super Basics on movements and skill clicking things. Yeah. Have a good one, you guys. Zol and Iron Shield out. Hey guys, before I finish the video on basic movements and stuff, I forgot to tell you something very important. Let me get off my gold here real quick. So, something also very, very important for you all to know, let me pop up our little keyboard thing one more time, is I want to show you how to walk in the game. So normally you always are running. That's automatic, right? You always are running. So if you want to walk in the game, you actually just have to click this button here. It's the, I think it's the INS. Wait. Yeah, you see that? See the button here on the, not my W button. Don't worry about W, on the right there of the keyboard. See how I'm clicking that button? That actually stops you from running and makes you walk. Same thing for your normal mount, your horse. So if I get up on my mount right now, he'll be in walk mode. And then I can click that again. Boom, and it'll be running. Now again, one more thing, you do have to make sure you don't have your what is it? The top right button, it actually, is it showing it when I click it? Oh, it's not actually showing it. It is the screen link one. It is the one to the left of numlock above your numpad, right? It's to the right of your F12 key usually, and it's to the left of numlock, and it's like the screen link or whatever. It says it on that one. I don't know the actual term for it, darn it. I'm kind of bummed it's not showing it on the little helpful thing at the bottom there. But basically what you can do with that is, you click that, your character will actually just run without even clicking W. See, I'm not even clicking W, he's just running. And you can move by just going A and B then, and not have to hold W down all the time. And if you want to stop it, just click S, and that'll stop it. So that's a good little thing to know. And also make sure that is not on, because it will leave a little thing up at the top of your keyboard on, which will not let you use the INS to walk, if you have that on. So anyway, that was just wanted to add that onto the video. And again, I am your host and guide, Zol Iron Shield, and I hope this helps you with basics in the game and how to move around and walk. So have a good one, you guys. Thank you. Until next we meet, goodbye.